what a nightmare it's been to get this episode out. This is the second recording we've tried. The first one I messed up because the browser was over capacity, whatever that means, and it was a good one too. Now this one, both Ian and Sparky have some really, really bad internet connection issues that left them coming in and out more times than the fiddler's elbow. So you'll see that in the recording. The short story is, the app we used to do all the hard work for us couldn't be used, and so I've had to edit this the long way. What a nightmare. Anyway, we end up comparing life in Australia versus the UK and what happens to our bodies as we get older. And how many bottles of shampoo do you have in your shower? We also share some photographs of each other. Sorry for those who are listening to the audio only, but you might want to jump over to YouTube to see them, of our younger days. And apologies for no subtitles. As mentioned, AI let us down again. Anyway, come and join the chaos that is us, literally.
Now, Bill, you're saying about how to speak Australian.
Yeah. Australian?
Yeah, Australian.
There you go.
Pinch your nose and shorten everything you can possibly say. So just pinch your nose, shorten anything you want to say, mate. And it's
Whatever you want to say, mate.
That's it. There you go. Pinch your nose and shorten every single word in your vocabulary, and that's Australian.
Really? Hi. I can't. We just had that convo, actually. No, they haven't, apparently, really.
Western Australia and South Australia are slightly different. They're more British than...
All right. You're recording, Mike. Good. All right. We're rocking and rolling.
Yep. Hey, you got a colour now.
All right.
You flash.
Thank fuck for that.
You're getting stressed, Mike.
One of the other things I heard about how to speak Australian is a lot of things end with an AH. So I'm trying to think of what the what it's replacement of.
Goliath.
Goliath. Hey,
it'll come to me.
What was that?
Hey, go.
So anyway, what have you been up? What have you been up to this week? What have you been up to this week, Ian?
Waiting to get our landscaping done, as we have for the last 2 weeks, and we finally got it done today. So thank goodness for that. And that's my gripe for the whole 2 weeks. How's that?
So you got the front. You got the front done.
All done, mate. All done. Finished today. Yeah, all done. Looks good too. So that's me.
Garden, because you cut out.
Oh, yeah.
You got front garden.
Yeah, it was supposed to take 3 days. It's taken 5 weeks. They finished today.
Well, that's because of all the rain.
Yeah, absolutely, 100% of it. Although it's been.
And now it's supposed to be windy. Have you got wind down there?
We have, yeah. And we'll try things out nice. Yeah.
You can get tablets for that.
Yeah, the AI will take that noise out.
What?
Oh, look.
Oh, you've got your pussy out as well now.
Yeah, mine's a bit grey though.
I think we've already talked about that, haven't
like
we?
A dick.
And he's a very ferocious pussy, aren't you? He bites all strange things.
Ah.
Oh, God. He's gone. Yeah.
My mum had a Persian that bit me. Hated me.
Yeah. Well, he's normally really kind until you get the brush out and brush him, and then he'll Their claws are like, I've never known a cat's claws like these cats. They just slice through anything. They're lethal. Anyway, go back to what you were talking about. Garden or house?
Are they like the Wolverine of the cat family?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, but they're like dogs, so they follow you everywhere. They trip you up, then they jump on your back and bite your head. So it's fun.
Oh,
our cat sometimes comes on the dog walk with me. If he's outside and sees me leave with the dog,
yeah,
he sometimes follows us around the woods. Doesn't want to be picked up or anything.
He just wants to go.
He follows all the.
Yeah, my tripod Bob, the ginger three-legged one, does that. Obviously, he's quite a bit behind though because he's only got the 3 legs. But yeah, he follows.
Tripod Bob.
So what about your week, Lisa? What you been up to?
Work, and more work. And that's pretty much it. I've been pretty quiet, I suppose, apart from that this week. But as of tomorrow, I'm not working this weekend, but as of tomorrow, our clearance store, which is at the front of my warehouse, starts trading on Saturdays. So I'll be there next Saturday, but not this one. So this is a 3-day weekend for me. And then next week is a 1-day weekend. And it'll roll that way.
Well, Dawn, you've just been in bed all week, haven't you?
Yeah, nearly. It's been crap.
And not having fun.
Not having fun.
No.
Actually, Tim slept downstairs because he had to be in London working for 3 days, so he didn't want to get ill. So we've been having separate, I quite like it, actually. It's quite exciting because you can, like pretend you don't know each other. You can go, oh, hi, would you like to come up to my bedroom? Or you can go, fuck off, husband, I don't like you tonight.
Do you know there's a lot of married couples that swear by having separate rooms?
Well, because you don't get all the farts and the smelly pits and everything else, do you? Not saying
and then when they do get together, it's actually better.
Bang! Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot saying for it, I think. Go on, Michael.
What about you, Mike? What have you been up to?
A bit of a mixed bag, really. I've my lighting business gets a little quieter in the summer, which isn't unusual because people don't use lights quite so much. But I have been out and picked up a couple of very interesting little jobs this week. At the weekend, we looked after my 2 step grandsons whilst their parents, my stepson and his wife, went off to a wedding, and that was the first time we'd had both of one of them's 2.5 and the other one's nearly 1, I think. And that was just exhausting. And what I hadn't realised was you just don't get a break. There's no time. I mean, at one, I think I had my breakfast on Sunday about 3:00 in the afternoon. You know, it was just full on. It really was. Sunday morning, I was driving around West Hertfordshire trying to find somewhere that sold Valium over the counter. You know, it was a lot of fun, but yeah, God, it was exhausting. It really was.
Yeah.
Did a bit of walking, did a couple of jobs around the house, and then, as I said, I think I said on the messenger thing, I went yesterday to have a final assessment on my knee, and they're going to give me a partial joint replacement in the autumn.
Okay.
So,
just one knee?
Yeah. I've had as I said to Sean last night, do you know what? I've had loads of orthopedic surgery, and I really don't want another one. But I'm lucky in a way. It is only orthopedics. It's not life-threatening condition.
Yeah.
So grit my teeth and get on with it.
So have you got arthritic joints then, Mike?
Yeah, I had my right knee. Yeah, I've had 3 operations on it in the past. The first one was over 40 years ago. I've been really lucky, actually, because everything I've had up to date has been on private healthcare because I've always had it. And then when I stopped work, I tagged on to Shartons, but she retired from full-time employment last year. They kept it going for a year, but it dropped in May this year. So I'm thinking, oh, bollocks, I'm going to have to go on the NHS. That will take a year. So I contacted my GP surgery. Long story short, they said, oh, well, we'll try and get you an appointment. If you haven't heard from us within 3 months, come back to us. So I'm thinking, right, great. And then all of a sudden, I get a letter out of the blue, and I had heard this, that the NHS is so overstretched for orthopedics, they're pushing it out to the private sector. And I got an appointment with the local private hospital that I'd had all the other operations at, and saw the bloke yesterday, and he said, yeah, we'll do you in a couple of months. So I'm getting it done in a private hospital, but the NHS are paying for it. So result.
They were doing that here as well. I don't know if they still are, but yeah, certain things they were doing here.
Yeah. So what part of the knee you get replaced, Mike?
The inside of my right knee, where there's all the cartilage is completely gone. I've got bone on bone, and now the bone is beginning to crumble.
See, mine are pretty much done as well. I've got arthritis in both my knees, courtesy of my dad. It's come down in generations. But I find I can't walk for ages, but going downhill, I really struggle. Up's not
Downhill
so
is the
bad.
worst.
Downhill, I literally have to go sideways because it hurts, which is a bummer. But I will put off having them done until I can't walk anymore. I think.
I've kicked the can down the road for a long time, and for 40 years, basically. And the really odd thing is, that, although the bloke yesterday said it's not uncommon, but whenever I'm doing something, if I play golf or go water skiing or walk the dog, I don't get, I don't really feel it, a little bit of a twinge here and there. Then when I get back, sit down, 2 hours later, I'm in agony. It's just, it doesn't really hurt when I'm doing something.
No.
But God paid a price afterwards. Yeah.
It's like me with that bike ride. I can bike ride for miles. I can go out on my bike for miles. I used to ride.
Is very, very good for these.
Yeah, I used to ride my horse. Never an issue. Walking downhill, downstairs, does me every time. Absolute pig.
So that's the best one is swimming because.
Mike, you said about your business isn't as busy in summer because of you don't put the lights on. Have you guys got daylight savings?
Yeah, they've got. It's called British. It's called British summertime.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, most people I think it's just a bloody nuisance. I mean, changing the clock on the car is like it takes about 4 days.
I wish we could have it all year round. To be honest.
I mean, it was really put in place. I think it was in the 60s they first introduced it to help the farmers. But the farmers are saying, look, just with all the modern technology, it really doesn't matter. We just get up earlier, But they insist upon doing it. It's a pain in the arse.
See, I wish we had that extra hour of sunlight of an afternoon all year round. Yeah.
Well,
I don't.
Lisa, there's talk at the moment of trying to reduce the daylight saving in New South Wales.
Whatever.
Well,
the problem we've got too is that here we've got 3 time zones, but we've also got our state and Victoria will do what we daylight saving or your British summertime equivalent. Queensland refused to do it, but they're in the same time zone as New South Wales and Victoria. So, particularly for me, when I this last time, I'd made all my appointments in New South Wales on the calendar, but when I got to Queensland in the same time zone, I'm an hour late because those Queenslanders still refuse to do it. Apparently, it does something. They don't like the fact that it will make the curtains fade or something like that. What was really interesting was when I first went to uni and did one of a choice subject. It was Law 101, and it was really interesting to understand how the Australian law system came about and why we have each state has its own set of laws. Mm-hmm. And the reason being is because before Federation, each state was actually almost like its own different country. So New South Wales developed its own law system, its own set of laws. Queensland did the same. South Australia and Victoria did the same. I think Northern Territory was part of something else at the time, and then WA did theirs as well. And so when Federation came around, it was then about, well, who has what power? So what does the Australian federal government have? What do the states still hold? And then so you can go from one state to the other, and some laws will be very different. Really weird.
Yeah. It's massive.
Well, when I went over to Western Australia a couple of weeks ago, that's a 5-hour flight to go from Sydney to Perth.
5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
actually
Flying time.
it's quicker.
Flying time.
It's quicker to get to New
Really
Zealand
fast.
than it is to the other side of the country.
Yeah, well, I can remember when we flew to New Zealand, I couldn't believe how long we were actually in the air over Australia. It was like, oh my God, it's still Australia, and on and on and on. I was like, freaking hell, they're great bastards.
2.5 movies long. That's what it takes to get across Australia.
Mm.
Yeah.
And from here to the top to Darwin is 4 hours and 40 minutes flying time.
Wow. So if we was ever to come
I just Googled it.
Oh, you're so smart. If we was ever to come to Australia, where would you say go?
Everywhere.
Where? Coast, shore.
Go and see the
Coast
coast
Go and
wall.
see the coast wall.
So are you all sort of near each other? No.
We are. We're all only like what, 2 hours between us all? How long does it take to get to your place, Ian? From me here?
Yeah, it's an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
We can't hear you, Ian. Right, no sound.
Just
I
make
can
sure
see
you
him, I
got.
can't
Have
hear
you got your? Let's have a look. Has he got his
Michael.
Has he got his mic on?
And Michael's only like 10 minutes from me.
Okay, so you probably see a fair bit of each other, obviously.
No.
No. Well, you're all busy as well, I suppose, aren't you?
Yeah.
You
Got to remember he travels for work.
Talk, Ian. Right.
No, still can't hear you.
Bloody hell.
But it also says, Ian, that you're not recording as well. So maybe shut down the app and then come back in.
Right. And it, eh? Who loves computer? Oh, they're all going now. Oh, Lisa's back.
Michael's reconnecting on my end.
All three are on mine.
I know.
Yeah, so that's all right. As long as there's a little red dot up in the top left-hand corner.
Yeah, you've all got little red dots.
Except Ian.
Little red dot.
So let's see.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus, Mother of God.
There he is. Yeah, okay. No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. Actually, my granddad was called Joseph. He was a carpenter. And my grandma was called Mary. And my dad was a Terry.
All right, Ian, you're recording. Okay. Cool. All right.
So Mary
you're back,
and Joseph.
we can hear you.
Yeah, and he was a carpenter.
So is that how you got? Is that how you got the role of Mary?
Yeah, that's
in the school play.
Yes, of course, Michael, with the towel over our heads. But who had the beard? Who said who's the one with the beard? I got lost in that conversation.
Wasn't me.
No.
Actually, what I can do.
I mean, we all know Michael's pretty hirsute, but I don't think he was at that point in time.
I'm just. Can I look? What I'll do is I'll put that photograph in the recording when I put it together of the nativity.
The nativity. Michael was on the right, weren't you, Michael?
I was.
As you look at it,
I was back row.
We tried to
second from the right.
Neither of you.
Yeah. Oh,
didn't I get it right? Didn't I get you right, Dawn?
Yeah, you did, love.
Yeah.
I'm one of the shepherds. Yeah. So
there was the Good Shepherd.
Yeah, he was directing. That was David Bill, was Joseph. And pretty Linda Horton, you must remember her. She was a beautiful girl.
Yeah, she lived just around the corner.
Yeah.
Is that you, Michael?
No, that's Matthew. That's Matthew Haley. Next one across. That's me.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the other one.
No,
Oh,
the
I
other
got it
one's
wrong.
Matthew Haley.
Yeah, and David Hill.
A lot, yeah, a lot.
Oh, a lot
You
younger. No need to be
had
rude.
loads of hair. You look like one of the Jacksons. Didn't you? Oh my God, you was like
Something was wrong with
microphone
that
head.
one.
I was shocked.
Can't remember that far back.
Oh God. No, he won't help me.
Michael's lost the plot.
Michael always loses the plot.
No, I showed Vicky Mike Sparks' photograph, and she goes, "Oh, wasn't he cute?"
Lisa, you know the one of you in the Turkish dancing get up?
Which one did I send you? Oh no, in the Hawaiian one.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you was a Turkish dancer.
No. It was Hawaiian. And yeah, I think I was probably 8 or 9.
Yeah, well, I've got one like that for fancy dress as a Turkish dancer, but I can't find it.
Oh, hang
anywhere.
on. Are you talking about that one?
No, the one where you had like a Turkish.
Oh, that's very 80s.
Top. Blonde, very blonde. He'll be back.
That one?
Yes. Oh, it
It's
is
a grey
Hawaiian.
skirt.
Yes, yeah, I can see that now.
So I was probably, looking at that, I was probably 7, 8, I would say. Yeah.
Sad, and it's very sad that you lost all your photos because
Yes, it was.
I'll be gutted, I think.
Yes. Now where's Mahal gone?
He's gone to the toilet, I reckon.
Or get other photographs.
He's gone to the coast shop.
There he is. Okay.
Oh, he's got his bins on. So we're all bin out abled, aren't we now? I hate wearing
Hey, I've
glasses.
got to tell you, how the other night we were talking about mascara and putting mascara on, glasses on. So I got a new mascara, right?
Yeah.
And apparently, so it's a super duper fiber tubing thing, Dawn, just so you know. And the lady that I got it from said you use the small side to apply and then the bigger bristles to
Brush it
fluff.
up. Yeah.
Right. And I went, okay. Except when you take your glasses off, you can't tell which ones are the small ones and which ones are the big ones.
They should make them different colours.
Do you know what? They should, but then you've got black mascara on it and it's going to cover it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a good idea.
But I have that with bloody shampoo and conditioner. Unless I leave
one's smaller and one's bigger.
Yeah, but that's not that much difference, is it? Come on.
Well, it's hard. It is when you've got your glasses on, but without your glasses, you can't bloody see that difference.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So that's the joke, isn't it? Why don't they just do a squirty
nice mascara, though.
I can't see.
Sorry, boys.
So talking about shampoo and conditioner, girls.
Yeah.
How many types of shampoo and conditioner have you got?
Loads.
I know why you're asking that.
Loads.
Yeah.
I just want to see.
And you know what?
I just want to see if our house is a normal household. That's all.
Well, it depends. I've got my normal one, which is like a plain one, which is ginger. And then I've got one that's got sort of a bit of a toning effect.
Oh, you mean ginger as in the herb, the spice, not as in for ginger.
Yeah.
You really threw me then. I was like, well, you had ginger.
As in the herb, it's good for your scalp. It's good for your scalp. Oh. And then I've got the toning one. Oh, and then I've got about 3 different conditioners that, depending on where my hair's at.
Oh, I've got loads, but none of them work.
And considering I've got very little hair, that's a lot of shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah, well, my hair's still pubic, and I've decided that I'm just going to use water now because it's coarse as hell, my hair. And no matter what frizzies you put on it, it's all bollocks to make you spend money on products that don't work. So now I just get some castor oil and I rub it on my hair. And that's it. I can't be arsed with it all. I'm not jumping on that. Buy this shampoo. It makes your hair thick. It keeps your grey hairs down. It's all bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Our shower's got
how
much
many
work.
sets of shampoo and conditioner have you got in your bathroom door?
5.
5.
But I don't use them.
I can't get in the shower. There's about 39 different bottles in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
but that's just in my bathroom.
I'm so glad I'm
How
not
many?
alone.
In the motorhome.
No,
How
you're
many?
not. You're not.
Oh,
I use one product. It's called soap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what
Okay.
Tim uses. Tim uses
Like
that
soap.
horrible, links everywhere. And he's got the most lovely, soft hair going. Whereas I try everything under the sun and it's still like pubic bone hair.
I've got
sorry, Ian, you're probably
I'm
feeling a little
sorry.
bit left out here, aren't you?
Sorry.
Oh yes,
He's got a wife.
many of them.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
still
polish,
right.
do you, Ian?
See? Yeah, but
I'm
you're
sorry,
lucky.
I'm still stuck on how many, Mike?
Which one?
Sparky? How many?
Yes. I'm exaggerating, but there's probably a dozen to 15 bottles in there. Yeah, I would think different. I don't know what they do.
Oh, yeah.
There's potions for this, potions for that.
Yeah.
Coconut.
I've got a chest of drawers upstairs with 4 big drawers in it, and top one's makeup, the second one's body fluid, body soap.
Yeah, it's just soap for this.
Oh, you're doing something wrong if you're getting your bodily fluids in your drawers, darling.
Oh, actually, I've got a story to tell you about that.
Dawn, can you see that?
Yeah, brushes. I've got some of them.
There's a very good sketch by Billy Connolly about that.
Yeah, it's not a very funny story, but it made me think about when I first went to uni to do psychology. One of the best lecturers was a transgender person. Jessica, her name was, and she was telling us how she deals with people with compulsive disorders. And so the lecture was abnormal psychology. And she was telling us the story about this one girl that everything that came off of her or out of her, she kept in plastic bags.
Everything?
In plastic bags under the bed.
Can't. That's
everything.
And it was all filed. What day it was?
That's weird.
That's why it was called abnormal psychology.
Sod that.
But see, I told you it wasn't funny, but it just made me think
about
that.
That's people. Yeah, but people
makes me feel really bloody normal, though. What are you laughing at?
There's no such thing as normal. Where's Mike's?
No, there's not.
Oh, he's there. Yeah. He's recording. He's all right. He's probably just got a low internet's probably mucking up.
No, there is no such thing as normal.
And I don't want to be normal because normal's dull.
Boring.
Let me tell you, Dawn, you're not.
A bit wacky.
I reckon it'd be boring to be normal.
Yeah, we won't know though, Lisa, will we?
Never.
There's a good sketch from Billy Connolly about that.
I actually read a thing
what is it when you go into the supermarket?
If someone ever says to you, "Are you crazy?" just say yes.
Yeah, it's easier.
And that'll be the end of the conversation.
No, I just tell people I've got Tourette's when I swear a lot. Get away with murder. And they believe me as well. Bit scary.
Gullible people.
But I generally do think there's something amiss in my brain that has no filter, because it just, whatever I think, as I've said before, comes out.
I do to a certain extent. I think what keeps me a little bit more under control is my work environment.
Yeah,
That's
you have to be a bit
more
careful.
so than yeah.
Yeah, but I did say, I can't remember what I've discussed on here and what I haven't. So if I've said it already, you'll have to say, you've told us that, Dawn. Shut up, you sound like your dad. I work with a black girl. I got on with her brilliantly, Tina. We loved each other to bits in a non-licky way, lesbian thing, just friends, like, obviously. But she, yeah, we used to have stitches at work because she used to go to me, Dawn, if anybody else would say the things that you say to me, I would probably knock them out. But you are quite funny that you don't mean it. Well, she used to wear flip-flops all the time, like Tina, and she came in one day and we were both sitting on our coffee break and she's sitting with her flip-flops on. And I looked at her feet and I went, oh, I love your feet. I said, you're so lucky. But why are they so brown? She went, because I'm fucking black. I was like, oh, yeah. See, that's just one of many, but I won't say about the other one because that would probably get me shot in real life.
Probably. I don't know what it is, but if you're saying that, it must be pretty bad.
It's very bad. But she loved me anyway, and she said, don't worry about it. And I did apologise profusely for 2 hours, maybe 2 days, actually, but she was fine.
Hey, I've got something that I was speaking to Vicky about this morning that I wonder if it resonates with you. So for when I was in my 30s, I can't remember if I've spoken about this before, I wanted to be
We're terrible.
I wanted to be a forensic psychologist. So that's one of the reasons why I went back to uni to study psychology.
Yeah.
And I was reading all the books about Mindhunter and all the FBI profiling books and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the things that came out of that was that there's sort of a lot of many indicators for someone to be a serial killer, for example. But one of them is doing the same thing all the time. And so I used to work with a couple of guys that would want the same car park every single time when we got to work. Yeah. Like they'd be really upset if someone took their car park.
I'd have to park in that spot just to piss them off.
Yeah, I did that too. And so I would say to them something like, mate, you're a serial killer. You're going to park in the same spot all the time.
But that went down well.
Yeah, well, I mean, this was in the steelwork, so it was quite a masculine place to work, so you could get away with that. Anyway, and then, of course, you go through, then I would look at all these old fellas that would have all their stuff organised in their workshops and stuff like this. And they do the same thing all the time. Sounds a bit
like you, Michael. You're a bit organised.
And they do the same thing all the time. So Thursday's the day they go out for dinner at the club, and then Wednesday's the day they go shopping, and Friday morning, at Sparrow's Fart, we've got to get to Woolies before all the rush gets there. Or they need to go to the doctors, they'll go straight away because they know they can get in, but they're taking up the spaces for the people that need to go to work, but they don't care. Anyway, so I've turned into one of those people. So
what did I say?
So this, I really like to go down to the harbour and have breakfast before I start my day. So, and Vicky doesn't often get the chance to come with me because she's out on the bus, delivering kids to and from school.
Yeah.
And so she said to me, you're turning into this old person where you've got to do the same thing all the time, haven't you? I said, yeah, but you've got to understand. I've only got a short window of opportunity. I've got a short window of opportunity. I need to be back at home to start work. So I need to get there early, and then I want to have a seat. So I need to make sure that I'm early so that there's a seat spare before it gets too busy. And what was some of the other things?
Break the habits.
I know exactly what I like. So I'm having the same thing all the time because that's what I like. I've eaten lots of stuff around the world, and I know what I like. And so, yeah, now I've turned into one of those old people that do the same thing all the time.
What
It's
time were you
killing
in
me.
there today, Michael?
We was there at 6:50.
Ah,
Yes,
I
you were.
was at the lagoon
It's
at
a lovely
7
one too.
o'clock, taking my photo of the sunrise. So if I'd known you were there, I would have gone via there and given you both a big squeeze.
Yeah, and broke his habit. And then he
Yeah,
would have slit your throat, Lisa.
Yeah, well,
What?
at least Vic would have been there as a witness.
So my question to you all is: have you seen some sort of behaviour that you're doing that you may have seen, when you're younger, you may have seen older people do and see yourself doing it?
No. I'm just a mad old woman that walks around the town with maybe a house brick in her handbag and hit someone around the head with it that hurts an animal. And I'm very wacky.
Okay. I'm not condoning people hurting animals, but that's a little bit heavy there, Dawn.
Well, I tell you what, listen to this. This is another little story. Years and years ago, when we went to, somewhere like Spain, I can't remember exactly where it was, with my mum and dad, and there was mixed nudity on the beach. So there was a German couple up from where we were on the beach, like a man and woman. I don't know, probably in their 40s now, looking back, because I was only probably 9, 10. Well, they were like naked, spread eagle, not caring the world, flaps fanning in the wind, willy flopping around, and I was a bit like, oh my god, oh my god. Anyway, this German blonde, flappy, wheelied man had a golf club, and he walked down to the beach, and he was like whacking something, and I thought, what's he doing? So me being a child, no worries, walked up to him to look to see what he was doing, and it was a sea urchin or an anemone, and he was like hitting it, and I said, don't do that, and he just said something in German and carried on. So I thought, right, I'll get that bastard. But anyway, he went back and laid on the beach, and truth be told, I could smell this really horrible, rotten, smelly seafood smell, right? And I thought, well, what is that smell? And just near where we were, there was a mussel or some sort of a clam that was partially opened and had died, and it absolutely stank, rotten. So I threw it just between the two of them, and all of a sudden I could see them both sniffing, and I bet they both thought it was each other. And I was cracking up. So I have always had this weird sense of humour, which has carried on with me. I don't know where this has gone, Michael, from what you were saying, but yeah.
You made me think of something then, though, and it isn't to do with that, but it was about your naked people on the beach. I was on a cruise with Mum, 2016. Yeah, 2016. And we're walking around, and there were quite a lot of Americans on the trip. There were quite a lot of Europeans on the trip. And I remember walking up up on the next level above the pool, but where there were sunbeds.
Yeah.
I'm walking along, and I've gone like that, and there's this rather large European lady with a very skimpy costume on, with both flaps hanging out the side.
Oh no.
And right next to her was her husband, spread eagle, with one of his balls hanging out as well. And I've just gone, yeah, well,
that's Europeans for you.
Someone and hairy, friggin' hell, man, they were both really hairy. It's like, I just realised Sparky's not recording again, is he?
No, it's saying that he's got experiencing connectivity issues. Ask them to refresh and re-enter the studio.
Oh, this is a nightmare. Do you reckon it's got something to do with this bloody cyber thing?
I've got no idea.
I've got a question for you, Dawn.
Go for it, mate.
And Sparky's there. I mean, he's coming back in. But when Michael talks,
yeah,
to you, does he sound more British or more Australian now?
Australian. Doesn't sound English, British at all.
Really?
Mm.
For me, he's still got a very strong accent.
English accent. Yeah, no. It's weird, isn't it?
Do you think so, Ian?
Can you hear me? I had to go out and come back in again.
I
Sorry.
can hear you.
I've lost most of what was said.
Do you think Michael's still got an English accent?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas Dawn thinks he's got an Australian accent. That's why I thought that. I wondered what they thought.
Well, I suppose because you are both Australian, so you're just going to hear that twang that Michael's got, whereas I'm not Australian. I can't hear any English in Michael anymore.
Well, see, and it's not just a twang. It's quite
dominant, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? No. It's weird, isn't it?
He's one of my favourite pommies, he is.
Well, as long as I've known Michael, he's sounded the same, though.
Yeah.
It's not changed over that 30, nearly 40 years, whatever we worked it out was, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
That's interesting.
Yeah, no.
I was wondering that when I was laying in bed the other night. I don't know why I was thinking of Michael and Dawn.
Well, you're only human.
That's a bit weird. That's a bit worrying, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah, she's only human.
Modest as ever.
I did come across another photo, but I didn't put it into our chat because for me, it's not one of my favourite photos of me. But Michael will recognise this photo. Hang on, let me just... Oh, God, where is it? Do you recognise that photo, Michael?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Key in the
basket?
Is that a thing out there, or was that a joke that night?
No,
that was a joke. So we'd gone to dinner, a whole group of us, and I don't know, I guess us girls probably had a bit to drink after that, and anyway, we ended up throwing all our keys in a basket just for fun. so there it is.
Party.
Yeah, there's the proof.
It's really weird, Lisa, though. Before I met you, I used to see you coming up quite a lot on Michael's Facebook. And I did think to myself, oh, they've got some sort of a connection, these two. I could feel it in my waters. And I imagined you to look totally different, to have dark hair.
Oh, no, that's Gracie.
Oh, is that the other one? Oh, yeah, she comes up a lot as well. Okay.
Yes.
I've got them mixed up.
Gracie's the one.
Am I connecting with you guys now?
Yeah, Mike, you're good.
Yeah.
Gracie's Italian.
Oh, that must be her that I've got confused with them.
And Gracie's known Michael longer than me.
Okay.
Longer than Ian as well. So Gracie, I met her when she was a 16-year-old girl working at McDonald's because I was working there too.
Oh, okay.
In Ferry Meadow, so yeah.
So was it a little connection over the chicken nuggets?
No,
just friends.
No, because she was.
Oh my, she was with Vicky then.
Yeah, she was a very. She'd been brought up a very strict Catholic. Let's put it that way, Italian Catholic. So yeah,
they're often the best.
Yeah.
like me and Lisa, obviously, Lisa?
Oh, absolutely.
So just in case you're listening, Gracie, hi, how you going?
She's in Italy.
No, she's home. She's home now.
Oh,
I love Italy. My favourite place. I love Italy. If one place I'd live, that'd be there.
but we
Did
had
you
a
work with her at
banter,
McDonald's, Michael?
Gracie and I. We had a banter about, the jealousy factor with Michael.
So she didn't fiddle with your gherkins?
No. No, they'd always end up on the roof.
Oh, that's the best bit. I like the gherkin.
Yeah, so do I.
Me too.
Ian, do you like a gherkin?
Actually, I don't mind the. Yeah, we call it pickles. But I like the pickle.
Pickle gherkins.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm growing some cucumbers in my greenhouse, and I chucked some in some vinegar yesterday because I thought I would try them. Are you still doing a lot of cooking, Michael, or do you not bother anymore?
No, my job kills me, so yeah. No,
I can tell you firsthand, he's bloody good cook.
Yeah, we used to talk about cooking quite a lot, didn't we, Michael? Because I love cooking and I used to quite enjoy it.
Yeah, I do all the cooking. I love cooking.
Yeah, I love cooking.
My wife's a great cook, so I never get near the place. I can cook.
Excellent. You chose well, Ian.
Sorry?
You chose well.
Yeah. Oh no, she's great. It's no sense.
I would imagine Julie wouldn't even let him near the kitchen.
You're pretty right.
Mine really started when I left home. I shared a flat with a mate of mine, and we had this rule that if you cook, you didn't have to wash up. And I hate washing up, so
didn't cook.
I started cooking.
Fair enough.
I like cooking. I've given up on the sourdough making crap though. It's just not worth the hassle. I can't be bothered with it anymore.
Yeah,
so
it's a lot of mucking around.
Well, I did all the sourdough starter, and that was all lovely, bubbling away. And then you make it, and you mix it in the mixer, and then it gets stuck in your fingers, and then it gets stuck in because it's such a sticky dough, and I just couldn't be arsed with it. I could not be arsed. I go up the road and buy
It's like dumplings.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Dumplings are the same, aren't they? They're really messy.
Yeah, but 500 gram dough ball that ends up like a 2 gram one because it's all stuck around your face, around your arms, and over the worktop. Ain't worth doing.
Around your face? What are you putting your face in the dough ball
I go
for?
like that, don't I? And it's in my hair, and I'm just one. Michael's probably seen my cooking videos. I'm the worst. I am just useless.
When I've finished making a dumpling mix, I go around for looking for holes in the wall to fill in.
I love dumplings. Can't beat a dumpling.
Me too.
Yeah, but are you two talking about suet dumplings?
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
Yeah, Lisa's thinking about a Chinese Asian dumpling.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm talking about dumplings you put in a stew.
Yeah, you're sort of suet dumplings.
But it's basically suet. Yeah, suet dumplings.
Can't beat a stew. Nice lamb stew.
Oh, they are gorgeous. Real smutty food, but it's excellent.
So, Ian, were you saying something?
Oh, I was just going to say, you've shown a few photos here. You did. I sent you a message asking if I could put some photos up, but I didn't get your reply until just now. I'm going to put a photo up. You said it was okay to put you in there as well, yeah?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whether you can see it straight up, so tell me if I've got to go up down or sideways and see if you can pick firstly who these two characters are and where they might be. Does it need to go up, down, or sideways?
That's Michael and you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it'd be you
Put it on the messenger,
on
Ian,
the moon,
so we can get a closer look.
Not quite.
That's not down in Thredbo, is it?
From Australia, it's about as close as you'll ever get to the moon in Australia.
I ain't got
Where were we, Michael?
Mount Kosciuszko.
Stick it on the messenger.
I was going to say, it's down the Snowies, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mount.
Yeah, throw it on Messenger, Ian, and I'll stick it up in the recording.
Yeah, cool, we'll do. We stayed overnight on Mount Kosciuszko on Anzac Day, and through the night a howling wind came through. I don't know how cold it must have got, mate, but it was bloody freezing. We were slept in tiny little tents just over the side of the edge, so we were away from the breeze. But yeah, I've got that one. I've got a few others too for you, mate. I'll send them up.
No,
So
go
how
for it.
did you two meet again, Ian and Michael? I can't remember what you said.
That's how.
Well,
We were involved
okay,
in
so that's how. So we were members of the Volunteer Rescue Association down here in Wollongong. At the time, it was the largest totally volunteer-based rescue organisation in the world, because we had no paid people. I think that's changed now. And so that was the uniform. And so I think I told you before, think about your mountain rescue people.
Yeah.
That's probably the best equivalent.
Yeah.
But but there's a number of squads around New South Wales, and some of them would do car accidents and things like that, because it's like they're in the middle of nowhere. So they would have raised money to buy equipment, a vehicle to then, if there was a bad car accident, they would attend that, get people out, do first aid until, the ambulance or fire brigade would get there, or police, if there was a police rescue organisation closest. And so, there's also some would have boats, so they may be on the sea. Marine rescue is called. Years ago, we used to have. There's an aerial patrol that's down here. They were part of it, and so I got to go. Some of us got to go in their planes. I wasn't part of it. Ian, did you go on the job where it was the Sydney to Hobart yacht race? Did you go as an observer on that?
Yeah, no, I didn't do that one.
So some guys got to be observers in planes searching for yachts out in the Pacific Ocean. We have a big yacht race from Sydney to Hobart every Boxing Day.
Yeah.
And it's notorious. If the weather gets bad, it gets bad. And this one year, boats were getting absolutely decimated. So they've got helicopters and planes out there searching for people. And of course, it might be an urban myth now, but some of them were saying we were flying the plane in between the swells. They were that big to try and look for people underneath. So yeah.
So
we got to do some really exciting and different stuff that not the everyday person would get to do.
Okay. You were at the
That's at Mount Kira.
Do you remember what the photo?
You were Thredbo, weren't you?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was Mount Kira. We'd done some vertical training, I think. Had we?
That was at the end of our.
Must have been pretty intense training.
That was at the end of the course. We did 9 days straight.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I can't see who's who on there. You all look like
no. If Ian flicks me on Messenger, I'll put it up into the recording here, so you can see it better.
Yeah.
But
Michael, weren't you? You were at the Thredbo Rescue, weren't you?
Yeah.
The what rescue?
Thredbo. So back in the 97, 96, there was a really bad landslide in Thredbo, which is one of the ski towns about 6 hours that way. And what had happened was it had collapsed 2 or 3 buildings, and so they were pulling in people from everywhere to come and help on this. There was hundreds of people used in that.
Was it like a mudslide?
Yeah. And one man got out. Well, he didn't get out. They was able to get down through about, I think, 3 layers of floor to get to him. Yeah. Unfortunately,
it was horrendous.
Unfortunately, his wife died in the bed right next to him, and he was there for a couple of days, I think.
Yeah,
until they got him out.
Just can't imagine that, can you? You cannot imagine.
And that guy still works down at Thredbo.
Sod that. I'd be gone.
Yeah.
He wanted to give back to the community.
Yeah,
And his
well,
sister-
respect.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
But
how,
any of you guys that do that sort, I mean, like Ian's job and that, you know, you hats off to you, because I know it's not something I could mentally cope with. I know I couldn't, but thank God people do that sort of job, because, you know.
Absolutely, I'd be hopeless at it. I can't stand the sight of blood.
No, I think emotionally I couldn't ever switch off.
Yeah.
Mm.
I particularly don't like the sight of my own blood. And when I recently had a blood test, I can never look. And I said to the nurse, "Do you mind if I don't look?" She said, "No." She said, "I'll tell you what, I won't either."
I never know when you're being serious or not, Mike.
That's the key.
Keeps you guessing.
No, that's the truth. That is true.
Uh-huh.
That is true. Yeah.
But yeah, you're my Tim's like that. He hates needles. He hates the sight of blood. It's really bad. So if I ever really had an accident in this house, I'd bleed to death. I think probably.
Actually, the surgeon yesterday said to me about this knee thing I'm going to have. He said, "Oh, we can do it with an epidural."
Yeah.
Fuck off! I don't want to know anything about it. Thank you very much. No way. I'll pass out anyway.
Total sensory deprivation. That's what I would want. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't want to know anything about it. Thank you very much. Wake me up when it's over.
You lot all speaking these long, hard words. My brain's like try and work it out what all that means. Total numbness. Then.
Get yourself a dictionary.
I can't be asked.
So anyway, that's how
how
Ian and I met. We met through that organisation. Yeah. And
you must have had to have pretty intensive ongoing training for that, I imagine.
Yeah, pretty regular. We met every week to do basic training, but there's a lot of times you had to do sort of specialised training in different areas. Yeah, it's good though. Very interesting. Lots of fun stuff.
And it was completely voluntary.
One of the things, I'll put another photograph up in the recording, but I don't know if you got to do it, Ian, but did you get to do the heli box drop training down at Maruya?
Yes. Yeah, I did. I've probably got a photo of that in here.
That was fun. Yeah. So you got dressed up in the flight helmet and a harness, and they had a small. So the idea is when they drop supplies out of a plane, it has to be done in a certain way. You just don't throw something out the door. No. And so they were training us how to do that. And so the back door, the big cargo, I shouldn't say big, but the cargo door at the back of the plane was off. Yeah. You were harnessed in to the plane with your legs either side of the doorway. So you didn't, so you were braced. The plane takes off. You're looking out the door. And then as it's manoeuvring, for instance, if it's, banking one way, you're just looking straight down at the ocean.
Oh. No.
And so that was quite fun, learning how to throw boxes out of a plane. That was pretty cool.
No, my bum's going just thinking about it. I hate heights.
The box had to land within so many metres. No, I mean, like, no more than 5 away from a mark. Yeah. So it was pretty exacting,
Oh, wow.
So it was a coordinated effort between you, because when you threw it out, the plane was actually banking to the opposite side and you have to throw the box up and out so that when it
so it don't come back.
It doesn't hit the back wing thing, whatever they called it. So it's quite a coordinated effort.
That
the
thing
back
that
wing
you up
thing,
in the air.
as in the tail.
That's the one.
The tail.
Now, thanks for listening. Now, if you're enjoying what we are doing, please subscribe to the channel or the podcast platform that you are using. And if you want to ask us a question or get some feedback on something that could be both comical or serious, then write to us at wrinklesandwit@gmail.com. Or you could send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Don't bother with Twitter. We just can't be asked to log into that one right now. But thanks again for listening. Next episode will probably be a short one where we answer a question that's come in from one of our listeners. Sparky and Ian probably won't be on it because their internet dropped out forever at that point where we started to talk about this. So, yeah, stay tuned for that.